मास्क उतारो जी में आप सबका स्वागत है। देखिए मेरे साथ आज कौन है, या विमेन ऑफ सब्सटेंस हैं, फेमिनिस्ट हैं पर सूडो फेमिनिस्ट नहीं है, हार्ड वर्किंग है, लॉयल है टू द नेशन, यस नेशनलिस्ट है, एंड कहीं ना कहीं बीजेपी सपोर्टर्स हैं, है क्या है, और बीजेपी से ज्यादा मोदी जी के सपोर्टर हैं। जी हाँ, मेरे साथ है नंदिनी भारी ढांडा। इनके तो आपने ब्लॉग्स पढ़े होंगे, जो बहुत ही ब्रूटल ऑनेस्टी के साथ लिखती हैं, हार्ड हिटिंग होती हैं, एंड आई हैव सीन पीपल शेयरिंग इट, रीट्वीटिंग इट कि पढ़ो ये देखो व्हाट शी इज रिटन, शी राइट्स beautifully. Then we
Thank you.
have Swaroop Rawal, who's a author, she's a teacher, and education के department में बहुत सारे changes लाना चाह रही हैं और ला रही हैं. And according to her, life skills is the best form of education, and वो उसको कैसे implement करना चाह रही हैं और वो क्या कर रही हैं उसके लिए, उसके बारे में बात करेंगे. Hi Nandini, hi Swaroop.
Hi.
तो Swaroop, we'll start with you.
Okay,
आप
sure.
मुझे बताओ कि आप मतलब I was going through your timeline and I saw कि आप ये एग्जाम्स में जो बच्चों को स्ट्रेस होता है उसके बारे में बहुत कुछ बोलती हैं. So we can do this interview in English, you know, आधा
Yes.
English.
Okay. Yeah, I'm cool with
Because I
both.
want everybody to see it, you know. हाँ.
हाँ, सही है. तो yes, actually क्या है कि मैं जब in 1998 or something like that, I started teaching, and I was teaching life skills. So it was about the mental health, and it wasn't really related only to exams. It was related to the life of a child, anything. It could be simple thing like, not simple, but a difficult thing like bullying, marpeet, you know, teacher ka stress, homework ka stress, parental problems, anything to do with the child. ये परीक्षा पे जब honorable prime minister wrote exam warriors and he started doing परीक्षा पे चर्चा, that time you know, NCPCR etc would connect with me and say कि since ये आपकी field है तो आप भी बोलो, you know, talk about परीक्षा पे चर्चा. And because मैं बहुत innovative हूँ और fun teacher हूँ, मेरा नजरिया अलग होता है और you know, मैं देखती हूँ कि किस तरह से it's a fun thing, you know, and make them relax and do exams, or you know, नहीं तो सब preachy होते हैं. मैं हमेशा मेरी बात करती हूँ, like इस बार मैंने बात की थी पायल and नंदिनी, you are not going to believe this, but मैं college drop out थी. और मैंने इसलिए मैं ड्रॉप आउट हो गई हूँ कि मेरा फेवरेट सब्जेक्ट जो इंग्लिश लिटरेचर था उसका पेपर मैंने फुल्ली ब्लैंक छोड़ा, सिर्फ मेरा नाम लिखा, लिटरेचर लिखा, और जब उन्होंने यू नो लाइक दैट हाफ एन आवर दे सेड व्हाटएवर यू कैन गेट अप एंड गो, मैं उठ के चली गई विद अ ब्लैंक पेपर. क्यों? बिकॉज आई न्यू एवरीथिंग एंड आई थॉट इट्स सो बोरिंग टू राइट डाउन व्हेन यू नो. So you understand, I mean, like jab I have been like that, obviously I, you know, understand students who are different. So yes, I do a lot of these type of talks and I work in that and I really enjoy it.
Okay, thank you. Nandini, I was just waiting for this now, huh? So Nandini, Rahul Gandhi, Cambridge, Rahul Gandhi, Cambridge. And what is he up to, and who are his guide, mentor, friends, well-wishers? ये क्या हो रहा है?
Now, you know, once you get me started,
Yeah.
you know what you're in for.
Oh, I'm so
actually, I have stopped wondering what is this about and what it isn't. It seems like, you know, this is that long process of jumping off the cliff kind of thing. And we're just watching it in slow motion, you know, and it's horrible what's happening. I think it's a hole which is being dug deeper and deeper. You have this little room, you see the backs of 10 or 12 people, you have this PowerPoint presentation, I have given a few in my life. I think my office can put together a much better one than this. And you have this man who was still last week with this huge Santa Claus beard, and now is trim and dapper and, in a swanky suit, pointing out, I don't know, I tried to understand what he was saying. It's as usual, you've got to hear him 3 or 4 times to really get to know what the man is saying and what he means. I think if it wasn't so horribly treacherous, it's very sad. I mean, it is so sad that you have been reduced to this. And the people around you who are so dependent on you to get back privilege, lifestyle, luxury, proximity to power, maybe future for their progeny, they're all banking on you. And is this the best they could come up with? It's sad. And I'm so glad we have seen through it and we have understood it. And he is a man whose party has only 50 seats. And we must recognize that the people of this country have given their verdict. Now tum अंग्रेजों के जाके वहां तुम क्या बोलो, ये बोलो, वो बोलो, बोलते जाओ. हम हिंदुस्तानी तो समझ गए हैं आपकी वैल्यू क्या है, आप कौन हो. Nothing more. I mean, I think one has stopped even laughing now. One feels. I think those guys who advise, who use, because weak people are dangerous people, and when you use them like that, the powers behind, the puppeteers, are the ones one has to catch and fix.
Actually, yeah, like what you said, Nandini, it's sad. It's
scary
really
too.
Scary too, and it's so sad, like, no, I don't know if it's like a good thing,
Because demeaning and humiliating your country, and where, like, these days, even the Italian PM, she also said that everybody's in love with Mr. Modi, and and they are just, I don't know what they're trying to do, what they're trying to project India as if यहाँ पे यही सब होता है और कुछ है ही नहीं, ना industries हैं, ना लोग खुश हैं. Like I was interviewing someone, Abhijit, in fact, he said, आप बार-बार Indians को बोली जा रहे हो कि you guys are not happy. He says Indians are also wondering that we are happy. तुम क्या हमें बोली जा रही हो? You're not happy. He's insisting you're not happy.
Exactly.
And you're saying you're not prospering. He says, but Indians are prospering. They are doing well. अपनी field में, ठीक है, पूरे 100% population नहीं prosper कर सकती, but like nobody is going hungry in under Modi government.
Yeah, and even when it's there's a lot of poverty, there's still hope,
Yeah.
And I would always think of that, because you can see a poor house and then they've grown some flowers outside and there's a tulsi plant, and for me that is hope. I mean, you've not given up on life,
Swaroop, the funniest thing is this man has walked the length and breadth of this country. He himself has said that people come out and meet him, and he went from, he had that really, a pretentious pyar ki dukaan or something, some kind of a thing that he's selling this ware of product of pyar, because we are also deprived of it. But wherever he went, even up to Kashmir, in the end, the finale was basically, he axed his own feet. He said, it is so wonderful, it is so peaceful. People came out with the Tiranga.
And you saw the video of them skating all over the place.
Snow.
I mean, like playing in the snow, yeah.
Yes, and then going on those snowmobiles, and then you're actually saying things like, it's so wonderful, it's so great. Yes, of course, you've spent the length and breadth of this country trying to prove that Modi is incapable, but when you reached Kashmir, that's all you could say was how wonderful, what a great job he done.
Yeah,
so
true.
It brought the whole Yatra, Kashmir brought the whole Yatra to a zero, to a naught.
Yeah,
because
true.
whatever he had tried to say through those 3,000, 4,000 kilometers, he went right up there to announce to the world that people came out with the Tiranga. Exactly. That's what happened. You know,
And
that is what
his
happened.
latest one is कि
Terrorist.
मैं कश्मीर में खड़ा था, एक आतंकवादी ने मेरी आंखों में देखा, मैंने उसकी आंखों में देखा, और उसने मुझे कुछ नहीं किया. How did he know that that particular person was a terrorist?
Oh, he says
Very
that they told
childish.
him that.
Very childish.
हाँ,
Very
They told
childish.
him.
उसको
Sorry.
कौन स्पीचेस देता है, उसको कौन स्पीचेस देता है ये सब बोलने को. एंड देन ऑन टॉप ऑफ इट ही केप्ट सेइंग थ्रू आउट हिज यात्रा, यू नो, मैं आई एम हगिंग पीपल, वो अपनी पेन बता रहे हैं मुझे आके, वो अपनी प्रॉब्लम्स मुझे बता रहे हैं कुछ, यू नो, इट द होल थिंग वाज, यू नो, आई डोंट नो, कुछ इट वाज द होल यात्रा वाज वेरी वियर्ड. it they gained nothing out of it, I think. It helped Mr. Modi more than it helped
I'm
Rahul.
sure.
I think very soon, early on into the yatra, it became very clear that they themselves didn't know why they were on the yatra, because they kept saying, oh, it's not for politics, it's for ideology, it's not for elections, it's for this, it's not for the party presidentship, because I've killed, maine to maar dala Rahul Gandhi. From that moment onwards, it went south. You know, though they were going up north, it went south, because you know, like, you just wondered. Then you started looking forward to the evenings where, you know, they would do a synopsis and he would have this impromptu conversation where Pandavs didn't pay GST and, you know, did. Then it became a national
joke.
Yes, and an evening of comedy, because everybody had it on their WhatsApp at work, the latest blooper, and it just went downhill from there. I don't think, you know, I think he did it to himself, as he always does.
Yes,
but what I find very fascinating about this person is the level of delusion. I don't know, you know, as children, you must have, I always try to, I remember that when you were 3 or 4 and you were on your cycle, or you got into these mock kushtis with your old retainers or somebody, and they let you win, and they said, oh, bahut dard hua, tumne itni jor se peeta, and you say, and you know, everybody says, Rahul Baba, tum bahut strong ho, tum bahut achhe ho. And you believe that at 52, because
that's sad.
It's okay at 4, but you believe that at 52. Have you ever heard him say, so-and-so came to meet me, say a Nobel laureate or a scientist, they came to meet me, and I gave them this piece of wisdom, and they said, really? We've never thought of it. He never talks about what he has learned. He's always teaching other people.
That's true.
It gives you a very an insight into somebody's mind, is that does he live in this world with his feet on the ground? There is a deep problem. There's some kind of a problem, and I'm very glad I don't see him.
It's a disease. It's a disease he has, I feel.
Some kind of a very serious problem, and I am so glad he is so far away from power. Maybe not nuisance value, but definitely from power. Because it's scary.
Swaroop, मैं आपकी tweet पढ़ रही थी where you were saying that we should encourage people and we should spread Sanatan dharma. Hinduism लिखा है आपने, मैं इस word के बड़े against हूँ, ism लग गया ना Hinduism में. आपने उसका बोला कि हमें उसका प्रचार करना चाहिए. Then आप साई दीपक को भी बहुत promote कर, मतलब आप the way you've written about his books and about him. एंड आपने ये भी बोला है कि बच्चों को मंदिर में लेके जाओ और उनको दिखाओ. सो व्हाट आपके ऊपर फिर वो नहीं आता कि आप सेक्युलर नहीं हो?
नो, ओके, सो मैंने ये इसके बारे में सोचा. लाइक ऑफ कोर्स इनिशियली आई वुड गिव द आंसर के हमें, यू नो, लॉर्ड्स प्रेयर सिखाते सेक्युलर, यू नो.
हाँ, आपकी आवाज कट रही है स्वरूप, आवाज नहीं आ रही. नहीं आ रही, आवाज नहीं आ रही,
जरा भी नहीं आ रही.
अब आ रही है. शुरू से बोलिए आप, शुरू से.
ओके, या तो मैं इसके बारे में बहुत सोच रही थी, and especially because we talk of holistic learning, and let me start with that. Holistic learning is emotional, physical, social, aesthetics, spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it started in America, and everybody takes it up. We want holistic learning, but we say not spiritual, ethical. Now, ethical and spiritual में बहुत फर्क है.
Mm-hmm.
Ethical is about everybody. Spiritual is about you.
Yeah, true.
So, when you're talking of learning, it cannot be about the whole group. It has to be about you, because it's your physical, your emotional, your intellectual, your social learning. Now, what happens is, like we've done a lot of research, the world over, they've done research in it, and they find just spirituality is a very, very important part about your mental health. I'm not talking of religion. I don't mind talking of religion, because I don't think spirituality can be far from religion. But we'll talk of spirituality. And then spirituality means kya karenge aap? Like some dumb guy in America goes, mindfulness mein you chant Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola. Pagal ho kya? Why would you chant Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola? Because they don't want to say chant Ram, Ram, Ram. Don't chant, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. So chant Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola. No, there is a special thing. The vibrations that come from the name Ram, or the vibrations that come from the name Krishna, is different from what the vibrations that come from the name Coca-Cola.
Even Om also, in fact.
Yeah, even Om. Yeah, for example, Om. So I just want to discard that thing about, you can't have all these, are spiritual, and because Sanatan Dharma is a way of life, and it accepts everything. Now, I want to teach my students the wonderful stotras that are there in our Sanatan Dharma. I want them to learn, from the beautiful Shastras. I want them to learn Indian aesthetics, which is way different from the Western aesthetics. Western aesthetics is about copying nature, whereas Indian aesthetics is not. And please note, I'm not talking of Southeast Asia. I'm talking of Indian, Hindustani, Hindu. So I don't want to be clubbed as a Southeast Asian. I want to be Indian. And Indian aesthetics is something that's incredible, because it is about the glory of God. That's why, for example, if you see beautiful works, beautiful miniatures that are done, till a certain period, the beautiful temples, the beautiful carvings, you will not find the signature of the artist, because it was done for the glory of God.
Yeah.
और कृष्ण भगवान ने तो कहा है, तुम्हारा कुछ नहीं, सब मेरा है, मैं कराता हूं, and okay, so I don't want to get a little distracted by all that. And then there are all these beautiful stotras which give you such incredible mental strength. So in your time of weakness, if you follow that, it's going to help you revive. And spirituality actually is great, not only for mental health, but even physical healing and stuff like that. And research has been done world over in that. Now, in the name of secularism, we are not allowing our children to learn all this, which is very wrong. अच्छा, इतना ही secular करना है school में, तो like say there's 60% Hindu children, तो उनको सनातन धर्म का सिखाओ. The 20% that are Christian, let them do the Bible. The others, let them do the Quran. But because there are Hindu and Muslim and whatever other other religion children in the school, don't deprive my Hindu children of learning this, no? So this is something I'm talking about. I'm talking about holistic learning, which is physical, intellectual, emotional, social, aesthetic, and spiritual.
But have you given this the whole your concept to the education minister? Or
yeah,
have you...
well, one thing is that I've got a bit tired of giving people things because aadha to sunte nahi hai. Like, I mean, I'm not talking about the ministers or, whoever, but, people don't listen, and then, so what I do, I go and do my work. Like I did this 10-day bagless school and I did it in a village. Now I'm writing a book on that. So when people read about it, hopefully they will be convinced. Because since the last 25 years, I'm talking about life skill education. And it is the best thing. But what do they do in the national education policy? They'll write problem solving, decision making, creative thinking, critical thinking, all the core life skills. They'll separate them and write them separately, but they won't write life skill. Then they'll write a silly thing which is called 21st century skills. So Nandini and Payal, there's nothing like 21st century skills. It's one laundry list of some random things which are half not even skills. And are you trying to tell me that these are skills you didn't need in the 20th century and won't need it in the 22nd? So then you have got no reference to old literature.
Yeah.
Academic work, we're talking of literature. But if you open the Bhagavad Gita and you look at it, you will find the life skills there. And the Bhagavad Gita was written so many years back or narrated so many years back. You will find that in the Ramayana, which was written by Valmiki. You will find all that there, the life skills. And it was there thousands of years back. Because it has to do with humanity and human beings. So, I can go on talking about that. Yes, so I don't want to deprive my children, my students, of learning the Sanatan Dharma in the name of secularism.
That's a very, it's a major project for you, and I hope you succeed in doing that.
Thank you.
But आपने अभी कहीं हुआ है कि आपने ये कहीं कुछ करा हो और
yes,
allow कर दिया हो आपको?
Yeah, I did it in this village in Lavai, which is one of the poorest villages in Paresh's ex-constituency. And I taught 92 kids the Aditya Ridhanam. And they say that every alternate day. And I went to meet them. I did that in June. I just met them yesterday. And they gave me a surprise. And they say, not only do they say the Aditya Ridhanam every day, every alternate day, because the other days they say the Hanuman Chalisa, which they've learned.
Wow.
And I'm so thrilled because this is going to help them.
But nobody's objecting to it? Sorry, no. Nandini, please ask.
Tell me, Swaroop, instead of going through the formal education way and getting to schools and, the whole rigmarole of bureaucracy and closed minds and so on, wouldn't it be a different approach if one was to have just like the Sunday school concept, where you just had children who are interested, see their friends go, and then are interested to go themselves, and have special classes and places for just this alone.
Yeah, they do have them. They do have them. But I'm talking of schools, which is great because, you're bringing it into schooling.
Yeah,
and
is that easy to do?
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. But Aurobindo and Vinoba Bhave and all have talked of it.
Yeah.
And they are big, huge intellectuals.
Right. Because we have this term secular, it becomes a little problematic to add.
Let them learn the other religions, no?
Yeah.
And another thing is, like you were talking about the temples. So then I took my kids through the Modhera temple, which is the Sun Temple. Now, in that Sun Temple, there's so much to learn. There is, there are the Mahabharata, Ramayana, all is there. The Surya Dev is there. The incredible aesthetics is there, the carvings is there. And in the Kund, there is fractal geometry. There's the Fibonacci, whatever it's called. And it's all there, for them. You can do like a 15-20 day lesson over there in that one temple.
Yes.
And our temples are like that.
Yeah.
The way they're built.
Knowledge.
Yes, literally.
Yeah.
So, what we had done, a very beautiful thing is that I gave each of my students, 92 of the kids, a small ball of clay. And overnight, and then we took it along with them in the bus when we went. And after they saw the temple and they had their snacks, we sat and carved out whatever we liked of the temple. And it was fabulous because this is a simple government primary school, primary school, where some of the poorest children of our country are studying. And if they can get education, that's so great. And they were so good, in what they did. I think we can really change the education, the way education is delivered in our country.
True. And much needed.
And we've got so much to give. So much to share. Yeah.
So much. Yes.
Yeah, and with such interesting concepts that they remain forever with you rather than the same rote and learn and exam.
Yes.
I mean, all these new methods.
Yes. I have a very interesting take on art. I'll just say that and then you can ask your next question. So for me, art is action, reflection, transformation. So you go through the act of art and you reflect on what you're doing and you are a transformed human being. Yeah. So like one very famous person has said that art cannot transform the world, but it can transform the human being who can transform the world.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yes.
So I hope our education minister watches this video.
We are changing and we are all working towards it, I hope.
Yeah, and I hope you're not going to do Babar, Jahangir, Humayun, Jahangir and all, endlessly, Shah Jahan tak pagal ho gaye pad ke, Aurangzeb.
Such.
Imagine in class 10, they're teaching you who was Shah Jahan's sister. Is this important for the kids to know? It's amazing NCERT.
But I'll tell you something which is worse than this. Is the whole lot of the foreign boards that we have. So when I was studying, I did the ISC, the Cambridge board, and I did Indian history, the world history, and the history of the British Isles, because it was British Isles then. I did Indian geography, world geography, and geography of the British Isles. Seriously?
Thankfully, things have changed.
Thank God.
Yeah. That was RL stamp we did for geography.
Seriously.
Isles.
I swear, seriously.
Yeah.
Now we'll have Nandini in action. Nandini, we have got this, our court system, our judges, what they're doing. The kind of judgments are being passed and the kind of, statements are being given. What's happening? What's the agenda? What's the aim? Or we can't question them. What is it?
They're unelectable. They can't trespass on other people's stuff. I think they have to learn where where the boundaries are. And I think the executive has to tell them that also. And
high time.
Yeah, push them back. Because and some of our observations are like you wonder, ye kya kunji pad ke aa gaye hain, matlab, ki jo bhi likhna, 1500 page observations, and I think it's, an opportunity to expound on the English language, and talk about it in that manner with nothing of substance. And worse, take so many years over it, and all these, you find 10 minutes to have Manish Sisodia's case or somebody else's, and the rest of the populace is waiting for justice. Yeah. What a mockery! What a mockery! Every day what they do is the people of this country are watching and thinking, seriously, I think there's going to be that one final straw which will happen, and it will break the camel's back. And I think they have to recognize it, when to move back, or we are in for trouble.
Yeah, true. And Nandini, another thing is like, now we are nearing elections of 2024. I gaya samjho. So, Rose, there's going to be there's going to be chaos and confusion, because that's the only way the opposition can win. Because these charges of corruption on Mr. Modi or their ministers, ये सब चीजें ना लोग believe नहीं कर रहे हैं. मतलब वो कितना भी कुछ बोलते रहे, it's like Mr. Modi, and like it's unbelievable कि Mr. Modi corrupt, not happen. कोई और minister के बारे में बोलो फिर भी है, but ये लोग सोच रहे हैं कि by attacking Mr. Modi they're going to get votes. मतलब why aren't they understanding this?
अब हमने 2014 में भी यही बोला था, 2019 में भी हमने यही बोला है, and 24. So it just shows that they don't learn. It's a waste of time, Actually, I sometimes feel it's such a repetitive saga. It just goes on, and they don't seem to learn. But the people of the country have moved far ahead. It's almost like this, this mosquito business. You swat and you move on, and we go out in large numbers and vote for this man again. Why do we do it? Because their word holds no credibility. If you think of Congress, you only think of corruption, right? Yeah. I only remember scams of Congress. That's all we spoke about, with the zeros in the scams. Now, this man, Narendra Modi, has personal integrity, and you have to be so foolish to attack that. What is there to learn, teach you? You don't seem to be capable of learning anything. So I think we are just going to have this nuisance value, which can get very dangerous also, because the more frustrated and desperate they get, they'll probably sprinkle that kerosene all over. But we have to be very vigilant, and I hope the agencies in the country, show something and do something. We just don't want these people put into jail and out on bail in a couple of days. There has to be something substantial which is done to them. Otherwise, we'll also come to believe that this is like a quid pro quo. You have to have some kind of a repercussion for the kind of distractions which cost the country a lot. Why should we be distracted by people who have nothing but treachery on their minds? So the government has to be stronger in this matter, rather than the same old key. Apologize, and you should be ashamed of yourself. No. We've had too much of that. Now we want to see people in jail, people prosecuted, people punished. That's what we want to see as a citizen.
And I always feel कि sorry, continue.
No, go ahead.
No, and I always feel कि मुझे नहीं चाहिए कि ये ministers they should go behind bars. I want the money back. इन लोग का एक बड़ा अच्छा सिस्टम है. इनको लगता है 3-4 साल. अब देखो ना, 10 साल तक कोई एक मिनिस्टर जेल में था, पैसे तो आई नहीं. इसी में हम खुश थे कि कि वो जेल में. I want my money. I've paid taxes. I want that money. वो वापस नहीं आता है इन मिनिस्टर से. अगर अब आज टुडे सपोज हाइपोथेटिकली अभी कोर्ट ने जजमेंट देना है, ये लिकर का स्कैम हुआ है, इतने करोड़ मिसिंग है. अगर मिनिस्टर जेल में जाके बाद में 1 साल बाद या 6 महीने बाद बेल से वापस आ जाएगा, what about the money?
Exactly.
That's a good point.
No, there has to be consequences. It just cannot be. And anyway, when they go to jail, they get the massages and they get their, they go out shopping.
Beauty treatment.
The joke is on us, the people.
Absolutely. Yes.
So, the government also has to see that the people have reached the end of their tether. We are no longer pleased with just cosmetic. कि इसको अभी जेल में डाल दिया, कल वो निकल आएगा. Then he'll lecture us and write on newspapers about, how this country is no longer moving in the right direction. This is a man who's just come out of jail. He's going to write this in a newspaper. We don't want lectures from thieves and charlatans, for God's sake.
And एक और चीज मैंने देखी कि now this 2024 is going to be Modi versus the opposition and the courts. It's going to be tough for Mr. Modi, I think. And what do you say about it?
Nothing is tough. You take action, nothing is tough. you just carry it, or let them carry on, then they'll just keep coming back to bite you. I think the time has come to take action now.
Action, yeah.
I would
And
think
speak up. And speak up even sometimes.
Yeah.
बिल्कुल सही बात बोली. ये तो this is a very sensitive issue. ये quiet रहते हैं ना, that's what irks us. And then we overreact और फिर हमारे पीछे पुलिस पड़ जाती है और FIR हो जाता है और ये लोग चुपके से बजाते. I तो sometimes feel all these politicians are one, you know, they belong to a fraternity. तो वो पता नहीं 2020 में किसी के साथ थे, 24 में किसी के साथ हैं, मोदी जी चले जाएंगे तो देखा 27 में कांग्रेस में हमारे बीजेपी के मिनिस्टर हैं. इट्स गोइंग टू बी, यू नो, तो ये लोग अपने लिए सेफ लेके चलते हैं, इसलिए can't trust them. है trust issue है where politicians are concerned. And thank you so much. Two women of substance. I always say that really I'm a big admirer of yours, Swaroop, and Nandini, yours too. And let's all let's do some good work, more good work for the country.
Yes, we should.
And,
we should.
Swaroop, whatever cooperation you need from us, whatever help you need from us.
Yeah, मैं तो ये कहती हूँ, you know, when I talk of education and, you know, I tell the teachers, just be bold and let's do things, because अब नहीं करेंगे तो कब करेंगे?
कब करेंगे?
Yes, so now is the time. This is the stand. This is the last stand. And we have to do it now. And if we do it now, we can change the lives of all the children of our country and, you know, the citizens of our country. And we can really bring the change. You know, the deprived and the marginalized and the vulnerable and the girls, you know, we can really change it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.